Good day, happy autumn to everybody. And if you're new to this channel, welcome to all the subscribers. This is gonna be a little bit of a different video. We're just kind of easing into the autumn, or getting through the autumn, and we're gonna do something interesting today. We're gonna take a walk through Lightning Brook Park in Union County, New Jersey. This is very interesting. The reason why I'm walking through this park is I want to try to do a couple things. First of all, I'm getting my pup Henry here. I'm getting him out for a little walk. He's been, just to give you a heads up about what's been going on with the family, is out there, wife has been watching a lot of dogs, caring for dogs. So we're getting all kinds of different dogs in the house, and it's good and bad. Henry likes to play with them, but sometimes it's a little probably stressful for him. So we're spending a little me time with him. So we're out here. But another interesting thing I want to do, since I've never been in this park, is I want to see if I can find a cool launch spot for the spring to maybe get on the Elizabeth River, which is right behind here. And what's really cool about this area is we'll walk over there. This park parallels, or the Elizabeth River parallels the Garden State Parkway, and then I think I see 78 passing over here. There's a lot going on. It's kind of a urban type of deal here, but check out this pretty interesting, I don't know if this is a pump house, but you always have this really cool stuff here in Union County historically. Let's see here. Definitely this is not in use anymore. But yeah, let's take a walk. I'm gonna try to, this looks like this woods here doesn't look like people use this, so let's go check it out. Come with me. Let's have some fun today. So as always, I always have a lot of really interesting interactions with kids. I don't put them in the video, but these children over here all swarm to Henry to say hi. And Henry's a sweet boy, so he obliged. He's a good boy. So this park, it's crazy. I couldn't even park here because there was so many, this soccer game, there's so many cars here, so I parked on the side street. But I also didn't mention one of my goals today too, and see how we do, is I want to get out here and see if we could find any chicken of the woods mushrooms, which, you know, I love mushrooms, all kinds of mushrooms. I definitely love chicken of the woods. My buddy Alex turned me on to them a few years ago, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I haven't gotten a batch. We've been meaning to go out. He's going to teach me how to be the master forager, but I think I'm feeling lucky today. I think we might find some. They say this chicken in the woods, if you look it up, hopefully you're going to see some. They're bright orange, yellowy orange. They're kind of hidden in plain sight. If you look for them, you see them, but I never noticed them. But now if I see them, I run right away with my little pocket knife and I cut off a little bit. So let's see what we can find here. So I don't know, everybody has a family. Do you ever run into this? You walk your dog and they start doing the twirl and they go to poop and you're like, no problem. And then you look into the trusty bag and the last person that used it didn't give you a heads up. So I had to find a big leaf, and let's just say it didn't get the job done. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so, another video, well, not a video, but I went on a ride or a walk a couple weeks ago, and I actually got bit by a tick. And I got it off of me pretty soon, but I had to go, I got some like antibiotics just to make sure, because you don't want Lyme disease. So I think I'm good, but I'm bringing it up because Henry and I, we're gonna check for ticks. We don't want any ticks, but this is Tick City. So right behind me, look at this. I just walked over here. I believe that's Route 78. Also, there's a weird little, this thing is like water captured here. So maybe some of the folks watching the comments, you can let me know. I don't know if this is people trails that are knocking down this brush, or if this is maybe just deer. Let's just give you an idea. So it's Route 78, and we should be coming up on the Elizabeth River. I just want to see how deep in we have to go. And by the way, my buddy Henry, this is too much for him, so he's getting a little bit of a carry. Plus, we'll save him from the from the ticks. So this is definitely a trail. I'm guessing there might be a cool fishing spot here or something, but I'm going through and sound like an elephant going through here. It's so loud. All right, and if anybody is in the sound, within the sound of my voice, I'm just here looking for the river and foraging for mushrooms. I mean no harm to you. GoPro, stop recording. So as usual, there is a little break in the fence, which you always see. Come on, Henry, let's go. Come on, buddy. Maybe easier to get through here. So this is really interesting. Alright. So I don't know if I said in the last scene, but if anybody who can hear me who's in the distance of my voice right now, I mean no harm. I'm just here foraging mushrooms and scouting the Elizabeth River. Made it. This is pretty cool. Take a look. So everybody look, up here, that's Route 78. And this is the Elizabeth River. And Elizabeth River actually starts a little further up, not very far from here. You could walk, but as you could see, it's pretty shallow. I didn't check the tides right now, but actually it's dammed up here, so it wouldn't matter, but you could see it's interesting. But if you got a good rain, I'd love to ride this. You could see right in front of me that I guess when there's big rains or the last storm, see how high up all that debris is? So that means this thing went pretty high and the water got up. Let's see, I'm gonna keep exploring around here. Henry, stay. Easy to find your way through here. It's a little too much for my boy. So a second ago you probably saw me looking a little concerned because you never know when you're gonna pull up on a encampment, which is reality in a very densely placed like Union County in New Jersey. And I understand people have a right to live, but I don't want to, you know, if you jumped up on somebody in where they live with their tent, you know, you don't want to startle them. So that's why I'm being careful. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so right behind me, this is the Garden State Parkway. So you can see Elizabeth River is snaking right along the Parkway, which is probably when they built the park, they probably just built around it. And if you can see in the very background, the Parkway intersects with 78 up there. So there's a lot going on up there, but people probably never think about any of this. And they're like, what's down here? Who cares? But there is a beautiful, or once was a beautiful, still is, but a lot of dumping here, or not always dumping, but stuff comes down river because of storms, and I'm sure there's dumping too. Well, let's take a look. That's the Garden State Parkway behind to my side. And I realized that my boy Henry here, if I let him go, he's smart. He's like, I'm out of here. So he looks for a path out, which that would be really bad. So we're not doing that. I'm holding him. It's too much for him to walk here. So if I did a run here, maybe after a rain, you could see it's gonna be be fun, but definitely some portage. But that could be part of the fun. Get some exercise. All right. Oh. We might get back into the program now of finding some chicken of the woods, mushrooms that is. So right here I could see behind me, I would have to imagine that there was been some dumping. I don't think this was, somebody came here and dumped some stuff. Which is weird because it's not an easy accessible place. All right, so I'm looking, Henry's getting ready to just take off. Just to give you some reference, so behind me is the Elizabeth River. So this way, that's going to the north, Parkway's going south, and this way was where I came in with the park with the kids playing soccer, and we're just kind of going through the woods here. This is kind of cool. I might let Henry off the lead for a second because it looks like this might be a beaten path. Okay. All right, thanks, man. All right, Jay, thanks, bro. See ya. Bye. Well, you're probably wondering, why am I doing cutaways to me talking on the phone? Well, this is life, and Henry, come here. This way, this way. But in reality is my oldest daughter, I'm just gonna tell you this story because you guys probably go through this stuff in your lives, is, hey, Henry, this way. Now I gotta deal with this dog. I'm starting to realize putting him off lead back here is a bad idea. Henry, come. Henry, come. This way, this way. I gotta put him back on lead. Henry, this way. Good boy, stay. Good boy, stay. Henry, stop. You can see he's not as trained as I need. Henry, buddy, Henry. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Henry, good boy. Stop, stay. Henry, okay, stop. You're a good boy. I know you're excited, but I get worried you're gonna run away. All right, if we're still rolling, I guess. It's nuts. So team, if you have children or young adults, just a story. My daughter, older daughter, her car, all of a sudden when we came back from the trip from Tennessee, my car, which is a Volkswagen, her car were not running after just being left alone for a week. She had an issue with her computer in the car. Long story short, she's been without a car since the end of August. I have a trusted mechanic, but it's been a comedy of errors trying to get her car on the road. And the reason is because a new computer for that car would have been more than the car's worth. But now I learned in retrospect, I should have just bought the new computer or sold the car for parts and got her another reliable car, because she is now depending on my wife and I to drive her all over the place, which is not her fault. She's a young person, they don't have a lot of money. So that was just my mechanic. I feel like, you ever see Charlie Brown with Lucy with the football? When Charlie Brown Lucy holds a football and then he runs to kick it and she pulls it away. I feel like that's what's happening, but I've been using my mechanic for almost 10 years and he's always come through for us in a clutch. So, little sidebar conversation, but that's life. So stay tuned. I'm hoping we have this fixed by, I'm gonna help pray with me, manifest this by the time I post this video. I'm hoping it's fixed. Well, I don't know if this is a mistake, but I'm letting my pooch lead the way. And he's leading me through all this, which is, see, he's clear down here, but right around my height, I'm getting killed with these, but I'm giving them a chance. I think this is actually a deer trail that we're following. So I don't even know where this is gonna go, probably behind the fork. All right, this would be a great tree for some mushrooms. Let's see if any are here. Not so far. All right, the little devil find a clearing here. All right, let's see what you're doing. A tire, which didn't get here on its own. Try to like pack in different, try to multitask with some of these adventures, but I realized possibly bringing the dog to look for mushrooms and trying to go through thick brush and trying to hold the camera probably wasn't the best idea, but it was still fun. I didn't see any mushrooms, but then again, we didn't really look that hard. Got a little bit more here. I'm thinking about maybe parking him for a minute. All right, so we switched it up. Buddy wanted to go. We didn't find any mushrooms, which is fine. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna get, like we always do, is we get Taco Bell. What happens is when I order Taco Bell, I end up getting rewards. So what I'll do is I'll get him a soft taco with no lettuce, easy on the cheese, and then he gets a little snack, which he really likes a lot. But I want to just mention to folks, does anybody else get annoyed by this? For example, Taco Bell, when you go to check out, they want to round up your order so they can take a couple cents to something. And I'm all for charity, but it just, you know, why are you coming at me for that? You're a huge corporation and you're asking me for money. And I know a lot of people do it, but it adds up. It's kind of like the Superman 3 movie where you just take a tiny little bit of money, it adds up. Maybe I'm just being a Grinch, but I feel like people are trying to get our money everywhere we turn. And I'm not saying that they're not for good causes, but another story is you give that money, you don't know where it's going. You don't know the percentage. So I find it irks me, but curious about how you folks feel about it in the comments. So we're gonna go pick up our order, and then I'm gonna head out and try to find another spot to go forage, but I'm gonna drop him off because he seems to be getting restless.
You can drive up.
Thank you. How's it going? Thank you. All right, let me ask you guys a question. How do you end up parking in a spot and taking up actually 4 parking spots at once? So this guy managed to take, I mean, there's no one really in this lot, but the dude took 4 parking spots. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe he must have really needed a taco.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
So this next place that I'm trying to find mushrooms is going to be in a very hidden in plain sight. So let's see. I'm near the Parkway. but I'm actually yeah, not far from where I live, so you'll see in a second. I'm looking to get in the woods. Yeah, so you can see here, you're definitely taking your life in your hands. There's a walking path, but this is Motor City, man. Like, if you're walking around here, you better be vigilant. So there's a crosswalk right here, but I don't know. All right, so here's what I wanted to show you. There's a big, there's like a hidden forest right here, right off the Parkway. I'm hoping we'll find some chicken of the woods. Yeah, so this is crazy. The first big tree right here. Check this out. I gotta identify this. I'm not sure what this is. It might be chicken of the woods. This looks like chicken of the woods, but yeah, that really looks like it. And over here, but this doesn't look, it looks like maybe it's too late in the season. Doesn't look good. I'm gonna keep checking for better options. Not sure what this is. Interesting, it looks dead now. So interesting story. I noticed that during the summer that the parks or some department, they come over here and they drop off a bunch of deer carcasses that they've collected from the road. So you can see all these bones. Oh, another mushroom. That might be hen of the woods. Let's go see. But you can see all these bones. Man, look at that. Yeah, they dumped a lot here. And when you hike here in the summer, the smell is like overbearing. Wow, this mushroom thing is harder than it looks. I just was basically behind all of this woods behind me. I did not find anything in there. So, well, that's not true. I found some at the base, but it was so rotted. I don't think you could use it. I might go back there in a little while with my knife and see if I can maybe salvage some, but I'm still optimistic I can find some more. So once I pass over this precarious side of the highway, I will check the other side. This is hilarious because you can tell people here, they're not used to seeing me or anybody. So their first thing is, I see them on the phone. Who knows if they're calling 911. They think I'm gonna commit some terror acts here. That's how weird it is that people don't really come outside around here. But that's just my thought. There's just another little sliver over here. It's actually buttoned up on some to private property, so not really. Let's see. Look how beautiful this is. I guess that dog doesn't want me here, but this is really remarkable when you find some really pretty foliage. Is that what we call it? But no mushrooms yet. Well, except for that one batch that was kind of rotten. I don't know if this traffic light button or a walk signal is like just there to make you feel good, but like I'm like this guy right here. Thank you. And this guy. So you can see, man, people here, they just drive totally nuts. They're nice people, but they're just, I don't know. Pedestrians are like, who cares? I'm exaggerating. All right, let's try another spot at the old Wawa. so we're back in the woods again. Trying to make the best of this day. The family really had other plans. A lot of you watching, you know, I don't know if you get into the same mode as us. Like our daughter's not into sports or anything right now, so always trying to suggest stuff to do, like go outside. But, you know, there's a lot of resistance. So today I just kind of took off. But I'm back in the woods again. I'm really determined to find some chicken of the woods. So I'm now in a place called Nomahegan Park. And I'm really hoping I can find something before it gets dark. Yeah, all right, let's look. It's beautiful in here. A big tree. Imagine what this must have sounded like when this thing came down. It must have been like an earthquake. It's a big tree. Oh! Yeah. So looking for mushrooms. So when I get these delicious mushrooms, OutDeh wife is really good at preparing them. So if you don't know, chicken in the woods, they call it chicken in the woods because you can prepare it sort of like a chicken. And what my wife will do is make this stew. And the longer you let it marinate or just sit in the pot, and even after it's done, you let it sit in the pot for a couple days. I could eat this forever. It's so tasty. So I'm really looking forward to finding some. Every time I see like a bright orange leaf kind of dangling on a tree, I'm getting excited that it's chicken in the woods. I also want to talk to you, since we're friends, and let you know how I feel and find out how maybe you feel. Maybe you can write back and tell me your thoughts. But you know, I'm very grateful for my life, for my parents, everything that they gave me and afforded me and the things they taught me. But the one thing I'll say is I noticed the way maybe I was raised. And I think my family did these things and they passed it on for generations because it's the best they knew how to do and they wanted to know how to survive. And I think sometimes they thought more about how to survive than maybe how to thrive. And what I mean by that is, you know, in the past, a lot of times family have an attitude, or I used to have an attitude, that the glass was half empty, not half full, and always kind of felt like there was some kind of impending doom right around the corner. And I'll tell you, I don't feel that way anymore. And I'm going to come back to that thought because I think we might have, this might be, I don't think so, this is a really cool little mushroom. I was hoping it was chicken in the woods. But I was saying, family, they want to protect you. But what I realize in life is that we're alive now, and we can't change the past, and we can't change the future as much as you think you can. Right now, as I'm recording this, I'm with you, I'm recording this. That's the only thing, I'm in the present. But what you can do, what I've learned to do, through the grace of the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, has let me know that being positive is really the only answer. And it's easier said than done. But the more positive you feel, and as long as I'm grateful, I feel grateful all the time, even for things that haven't happened yet. I'm grateful that we're gonna find some chicken in the woods. It's the only way. It's the only way, because what I realize is if you think bad things will happen and you're worried and you're obsess on bad things, you know what? I believe you create that energy, or if you don't create that energy, you're activating that energy. So I don't want to activate any negative energy. I want to activate positive energy for myself and for my family and people around me and everybody. It's easier said than done. But I got to tell you, you know, it took me a long time, but I believe being positive is the way. And there's no downside for being positive. But for being negative, I believe you can activate energy. And that doesn't mean bad things don't happen. Bad things happen all the time. But how we respond to it is how we can have a more fulfilled life. All right. They call this, I hear the parks call this blowdown. When trees get blown down and they ain't going anywhere. This example, so this is the Rawway River. This is a little, you know, offshoot. But you could see, this is what I'm always talking about, and I don't want to preach, but my eyes have been opened. Look at all these plastic bottles that are in here. So these came down, they're runoff from garbage or whatever they got in here, and they made it all the way down here, and they'll eventually get down the Rawway into the kill. But what I want to say is, what if we could fix this problem by not producing as many of these bottles, because we don't need them. A lot of us have those reusable bottles. I try to use them whenever I can, because really what these bottles are is there's a business of those water companies or water bottle companies, they're not in the business of making water. That's the product. They're in the business of making cheap plastic to get the product out to you as cheap as possible, and then under the guise that this stuff is all recyclable. This stuff, if it ever did get recycled, it's probably never going to get repurposed. It'll probably get burned somewhere in a third world country. But again, going back to the point, we could help solve this if we just stop making so many of these bottles. What do we have here? Let me not twist my ankle here. Whoa, that's interesting. Is that might be chicken of the woods or hen of the woods? I think we might have something. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and examine it. Now, what I've learned is I should cut this, don't cut the whole thing, although this is under a root of a blowdown of a tree. So I'm not sure how much is gonna grow here, but I'm gonna cut off a little bit. So something I could do, and I'm not an expert at this, but I went ahead and took a picture. If you go onto your phone and you use Google and you take the Google, you analyze with Google, the app, you can actually hit the picture bar and have it analyzed. I'm getting a hit that this is an oyster mushroom or hen of the woods. So I'm gonna go and take some. There's what's left. I took a little knife, I put some in my paper bag, and away we go. So this beautiful leaf, anytime I see something kind of like this, I get excited that that's gonna be chicken of the woods, but I've not seen it yet. I'm also wondering, because I waited so late and there's so many leaves that have fallen, perhaps some of the chicken of the woods that you could see at the base of the trees, like that first one we saw earlier, are hard to spot. But we'll learn that at daylight. I'm gonna look a little bit more. Interesting, but not what we're looking for. This is crazy. So I'm basically getting ready to finish the foraging, and look at this. I'm pretty sure this is chicken of the woods, and it's right here. So team, I got really excited. I found what I thought was, I'm just about to be done with it. I thought I found a chicken of the woods, but it's actually a jack-o'-lantern mushroom, which is somewhat poisonous. So these should not be confused with chicken of the woods, because these are basically poisonous, and they're found on rotting stumps. I'll show you a little closer. So again, I'm no expert. I looked this up, but this jack-o'-lantern looks a bit poisonous, and they grow on stumps. Looks very cool, like the color of the chicken of the woods, but that is not what we're looking for. So I was all excited, but it's pretty obvious that this was not it. So nope.